this is kind of annoying. This is kind of annoying. The box is different. I was not expecting that. Chef's kiss. Action Bronson New Balance 992 Tiger Eye. So we got one pair of these beauties right here with a yellow lid. Also, we have a blue lid from New Balance. Different packaging, interesting. That's, I don't know why that is. Another pair. Two pairs. Why? Here's the deal. This pair from Action Bronson, ordered on his website, was probably ordered a few weeks ago, I'd say. And ordering from Bronson, it takes a little bit of time. You guys probably know that. If you've ever ordered a pair of New Balance from Action Bronson, it can take a little bit of time. And don't worry, this is not just a New Balance video. We have other brands that really can fall under this topic. So I ordered these from Action Bronson's website, and it said it could take like 2 to 3 weeks for them to ship out. Knowing that is very likely, that it was probably gonna take a while to get these shoes, I said, okay, no big deal. I'll wait it out just like everyone else. Then to my surprise, New Balance also dropped some inventory on their website. So here's the frustrating part about this. I'm on the New Balance website and there's a full-size run of these. One of my favorite sneaker releases of the year being sold by New Balance, and my pair has not shipped from Action Bronson yet. No shipping information, no nothing. And I'm on the New Balance website, and I know that New Balance ships pretty quick. So I can buy a second pair. Don't get me wrong. I pulled the trigger on a second pair knowing that I had already spent money on the first pair, but I know that New Balance is gonna ship pretty quickly. If you live in the Northeast, New Balance ships made in USA pairs like that. You can get them next day sometimes. So being a content creator and knowing that this is one of my favorite releases of the year, I buy a second pair. So I get the New Balance pair in, I'm checking these out, absolutely love it. And then I get an email the next day that my second pair, the first pair that I purchased, is shipping out. So then I wait 4 or 5 days and this second pair shows up. Here's my problem. So why would a sneaker brand undercut one of their collaborators? Let's talk about this because I have a few different theories and it happens more often than you would think. So on the Action Bronson website, he was the first one to sell this shoe. My first access to his product, you know, the sneakerhead in me is like, oh dang, these could be scarce. This might be my only opportunity to buy these. So yes, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna pull the trigger. I didn't know the exact release date on the New Balance website. It's no surprise that they did release their own stock, but I didn't know the release date. Maybe that was public knowledge, and you guys can let me know if that is something you take into consideration. Are you hesitant to buy from the collaborator directly and just waiting for stock to release on the brand's website? Because, you know, New Balance, sometimes it can be hard to get collabs on their site. I didn't want to risk that. If I wasn't able to get a pair directly from Bronson and then I wasn't able to get a pair from New Balance, I'm SOL. So ultimately I end up with 2 pairs. I can probably return the New Balance pair, but I just got to decide if that's what I want to do or not. Now, New Balance is not the only brand this happens with. A Ma Maniére is notorious for doing this. Notorious. I really have to think about if I'm gonna buy a shoe directly from A Ma Maniére or not. They charge a lot for shipping. That's another point. These were 20 bucks for shipping, and I think A Ma Maniére charges the same, if not more. So it is more expensive to order a pair directly from the collaborator, and it's gonna take more time. There has been people that have waited over a month to get a pair from A Ma Maniére or Undefeated. Air Jordan 4 Undefeateds took forever to ship. So why is it that these brands are undercutting their collaborators and releasing their own stock before all of those other pairs are shipped out? It doesn't make sense to me, and it looks sloppy. And then you get a buyer like me that is hesitant to buy from the collaborator. Like, I shouldn't have this worry about buying a pair of shoes from A Ma Maniére knowing that it's gonna take a while to ship. I shouldn't be afraid to order directly from Bronson, but it makes no sense for New Balance or Nike or Jordan to release their stock before all those other pairs are shipped out. Because then you're thinking about, hey, I can get it sooner if I do this. They're gonna deal with more returns. It just doesn't look like you're both on the same page. New Balance should have released these, next week. Now here's my theory as to why I think that this is happening. And this is just a theory. I have no facts to back this up at all, just kind of a story that I can share that might be similar to some of these situations on a much smaller scale. So a while back, I did a collaboration with Saucony. We released a shoe together alongside a bunch of other people. Now, following the release of that shoe, another footwear brand approached me about doing a collaboration. So I went to their office and we sat down and we talked about the structure of how it would work. And it was totally different from how we had structured the Saucony collaboration. Long story short, what they offered was, hey, let's collaborate, but you're gonna put up the funds for half of the inventory. So you're gonna buy half, you're gonna get half of the inventory, we're gonna buy the other half, and we're gonna be in charge of selling our part. You're gonna be in charge of selling your part. Now, I was gonna get the collaborative product for cost. Cost landed, pretty good deal. So whatever it would cost them to make the shoe, that's what I was gonna get it for, which is pretty much like 25% of the retail price of a shoe. Now, do I think that that's what Action Bronson and New Balance are doing? I doubt it, but who knows? Who knows? It depends what bucket the funds for this are coming out of. So when I did a collaboration with Saucony, that was strictly out of their marketing budget. They were like, hey, we're not gonna make any money on this. These are so limited edition, but the eyes that it's gonna bring us, it's worth it. So that's out of the marketing budget. The other brand that I was talking with, that would have been out of their sales budget. So they were strictly looking to sell product and profit off it. Two different approaches. With big time collaborators like Action Bronson, A Ma Maniére, and Undefeated, repeat collaborators, I don't know exactly how that works, but I wouldn't be surprised if they were funding some of the products. So let's say Action Bronson and New Balance make 20,000 pairs and Bronson gets 10,000 of those pairs and he gets them at cost or somewhere near that. If he sells them directly to us, he's gonna make more profit than letting New Balance handle that. I'm sure that's part of the deal. They say, hey, do you want us to sell the shoes or do you want to sell the shoes? And all of this is just probably common sense business. I know that, but some people may not think about it like that. But the question that I don't have the answer to is why they undercut each other with release dates and how they sell the product. Why is the timing the way that it is? You shouldn't have another option to buy this shoe while you're still waiting for the other one to ship out. Something needs to change. Like, does Bronson need to get better logistics as far as how he ships these out? Does A Ma Maniére, does Undefeated? I mean, these are big operations. You guys can let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. Have you ever dealt with something like this where you're waiting for another pair to show up and, it goes up for sale somewhere else before that? Let me know down in the comment section. It can be a little bit frustrating. I appreciate you guys. I will catch you next time. Peace.